For the last year, I've been commercially fishing for lobster with 100% plastic-free fishing gear, and I've also been rowing and sailing to fish for lobster, so effectively emissions-free. This one's made of recycled pallets as well. So bicycle rims here, aluminium, hopefully lower impact. I'm also looking, because I'm committed to either low impact or plastic free fishing, I've got to source natural fibre ropes, non-plastic, down buoys, floats, all the fishing gear plastic free. We just know we've got to reduce our carbon footprint massively. Business wise, this is all about using as local as possible materials and skills. I think it's a case of do what you can yourself and sort of share your information and see where those conversations get to, really.
Here on the farm, we're actually net negative, so we're actually absorbing more carbon than we emit. So we're really paying attention to our soils, sequestering carbon in the soils, carbon in the biomass of the hedges and the woodland. I really encourage everybody to eat less meat and dairy, eat more fruit and veg, care about how it's grown and where it's from, especially locally grown. Switch to 100% renewable electricity supply. That's really easy, makes a big impact. So it's absolutely imperative that everybody takes their responsibility. People, businesses, communities, governments, society, all over the world.
I think it's important for everybody. Obviously it's the future of the planet, and obviously for our children as well. It's a no-brainer for people to do whatever they can with it, really. So we're a postal flower company, so all our packaging is now paper, which can also be recycled. We've also put solar panels on our barns, and that provides the electricity for our cold store. So all our flowers now are chilled, obviously, through the sun. So the fact that that's now being done by solar panels is a huge improvement.
I personally believe it's important because when I think about it, I think about air pollution, and I also think about our health as humans and children. One of the main things for us was to keep our carbon footprint down. We invested in some solar panels, so we have 9 solar panels on our roof. Our second thing is no single-use plastic. We also have a sticker goes on our window for people to see that we do free water refills. We don't sell any plastic bottles. It's all glass or cans. It only takes a small little bit to start, and then, you know, maybe just, for instance, water bottles or coffee cups, reusable ones, and then see what else you can do after that to help. And yeah, that's what I would say.
Living on the Isles of Scilly, you know, we're really lucky to live somewhere so beautiful, and it's important, you know, that it can stay beautiful for future generations, and you know, we don't want to see our beaches, you know, strewn with plastic in the future, and you know, ensure that sea levels don't rise so much that the place eventually disappears. We do all the basics, all the recycling that you'd expect and stuff, and we use all recyclable packaging, and all our cups and our salad pots and things like that are all biodegradable, and also we incentivize people to reuse coffee cups by offering a reduced price on hot drinks for reusable cups. The main thing that we do, and we're really proud of, is our refill zone, which is behind me, which is the way that we let people shop for your basics like grains and nuts and seeds and dried fruit and herbs and spices and everything in a kind of plastic-free way. So they can either bring a reusable container in and we'll fill it up for them over and over again. It helps reduce waste both in packaging but also food waste, which is important too. I would encourage consumers to try and shop more ethically and in a more sustainable way by coming to places where they can use less plastic and reuse their containers and things like that.
Well, you're seeing all the time with the climate emergency, you're seeing all sorts of things changing. Like we've seen tuna for the first time ever in my lifetime. The whole changes to the atmosphere, and we've had really weird weather all year. We had storms in August, we've had the best ever October on record. So for about 5 years now we've had our boating app, which enables residents of Snagness and other people on the islands to share our boat trips, reducing the cost, therefore reducing their carbon footprint. We've very recently installed solar panels on the boat, which enables us to run all our electrical systems without having to charge the batteries, running the engines to charge the batteries up. And finally, we've very recently joined a scheme where we offset our carbon footprint. So we calculated how much fuel we consume over the year and what the costs of that were, and also the other carbon we produce, and we then contacted a company called Carbon Neutral Britain, and they enabled us to completely carbon offset our business, so we're completely carbon neutral.
It's becoming increasingly clear that we can't afford to wait for government to take the lead on this. This is something that we all have to kind of accept as responsibility.
So we try and keep everything we can on the site, so we don't burn and we don't export anything. So we've got 2 kilometres of hedges, we've got the vine prunings, any sort of arisings we have are all kept composted and put back onto the land to try and sort of sequester carbon. We're also looking at things like tree plantings to try and sort of lock more carbon up in biomass. We've switched to kind of an organic approach from energy efficiency and reducing our requirement for fossil fuels. So we have had solar panels installed, and we've got a solar battery which is just being installed today, which is fantastic. So far I think this year it's produced more than we've used, so it's also a sort of a net exporter to the grid locally, so that it kind of increases the renewable energy capacity that we've got here on the islands, I hope.
We're not using any petrol-powered equipment, the lawnmower, the strimmers, the hedge cutters, everything is now fully electric. There's lots of opportunities out there for some funding often, so it's worth having a look like what's out there in your area.